Have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels in your career? You're putting in the hours, you're working hard, but you've just hit a wall? Well, what if I told you that the real difference between a career that's stuck and one that has explosive growth isn't about some kind of genius or just blind luck? It's actually about science. Today, we're going to decode that science and show you exactly how to build a career that pretty much runs on autopilot. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by cracking open the success puzzle. Then we'll take a look under the hood at your brain's own autopilot system. After that, we'll get into the domino effect of tiny habits, learn how to literally rewire our minds, design our environments for success, and then finally, put it all together to automate greatness. Okay, let's dive right into that feeling of frustration. So many of us are taught that more effort equals more success. But honestly, that's usually just a one-way ticket to burnout. The real secret, the key, is making that shift from just working hard to working smart. And that means building a system that does the heavy lifting for you.
And get this isn't some new age productivity fad. We're talking over 2,000 years ago. Aristotle absolutely nailed it. Excellence isn't some big heroic moment. It's the sum of what you do day in and day out. In other words, it's a system. This right here, this is probably the biggest mindset shift you can make. If your career feels stuck, it's time to stop blaming your talent or how many hours you're grinding. Instead, let's think like engineers of our own success. Let's start examining and totally rebuilding the system that's driving our daily actions. So, to build that better system, you've got to understand the hardware it's running on, right? And that's your brain. More specifically, we need to get into the part that automates almost everything you do without you even having to think about it.
And here it is. Meet the habit loop. It's the simple but incredibly powerful neurological pattern that's running deep inside your brain. It's the boss of every single habit you have, from, grabbing your phone the second you wake up to how you instinctively react to a tough question in a meeting. Understanding this loop, well, that's the key to taking back control. So here's how it works. It's a simple 3-step process. First, you've got a cue, which is just a trigger that tells your brain to switch into automatic mode. Next up is the routine, which is the action itself. And then third, you've got the reward, which basically tells your brain, hey, that felt good. Let's remember this loop for the next time. Understanding this simple little process is like getting the owner's manual for your own professional behavior. Okay, this is where things get really, really interesting, because it turns out that not all habits are created equal. Some are so powerful, they act like the first domino in a long line, setting off this chain reaction of positive change across your entire professional life. These are what we call keystone habits. So think about a simple routine like taking just 5 minutes to plan your next day before you log off. It seems so small, right? But that one habit gets rid of morning indecisiveness, it sharpens your focus, and it makes you look way more prepared to your colleagues. One tiny habit and you get a whole cascade of professional wins. Now, the secret to installing these powerhouse habits isn't some massive, stressful life overhaul. Nope. It's about getting just 1% better every single day. I know, it sounds almost insignificant, doesn't it? A tiny, nearly invisible improvement. But this is where the deceptive math behind that tiny 1% comes in. That little improvement doesn't just add up, it compounds. If you get just 1% better each day for a year, you won't just be 365% better. You'll be nearly 37 times better. That's the absolutely explosive power of consistency. This is it. This is what separates the good from the truly exceptional over the long haul. You're not just improving. You're building what author James Clear calls the compound interest of self-improvement. You're literally creating a competitive advantage, a protective moat that other people just can't cross overnight. But hey, to make these habits truly stick, to make them permanent, we have to go deeper than just our actions. We have to change how we think. The most profound, lasting changes happen when we shift our internal identity. And yes, that's totally possible thanks to our brain's amazing ability to adapt. This all comes down to the science of neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't set in stone. Think of it like a forest. The paths you walk down most often become wide, clear, and easy to follow. By choosing new behaviors, you are literally, physically carving new pathways for success in your brain. It's like you're your own neural landscaper. And this leads to a really profound shift in how you approach everything. Instead of focusing only on the outcome, like, I want to be a senior VP, you focus on the identity of the person who achieves that.
You ask yourself, what kind of person becomes a senior VP? And then you decide, I am the type of leader who empowers my team every single day. You focus on who you're becoming, not just what you're trying to get. And when your actions are just a reflection of your identity, that internal struggle, it just disappears. You're no longer forcing yourself to do the work. You're just acting in alignment with who you are. Excellence stops feeling like a chore and starts to feel, well, inevitable.
Okay, let's bust a common myth: willpower. We all think we just need more of it, right? But the most successful people, they don't really rely on it. Instead, they become architects of their own world. They build environments where success is the easiest, most obvious choice. It's the default path. Here's the hard truth. Willpower is a finite resource. It's like a battery on your phone. It will run out. Your environment, on the other hand, is always there. A well-designed environment is infinitely more reliable than your daily dose of motivation ever will be. And really, it all boils down to two super simple rules. First, you want to reduce the friction for your good habits. Want to write more? Don't bury your notebook in a drawer. Keep it open right on your desk. Second, you want to increase the friction for your bad habits. Distracted by your phone all the time? Don't just put it on silent. Put it in another room. Make the right choice the easy choice. All right, let's tie this all together. When you combine the mechanics of that habit loop, the massive leverage of Keystone Habits, an identity-based mindset, and a cleverly designed environment, well, you create an incredibly powerful system for success. And that's when you hit the ultimate goal. You stop trying to work harder, and instead, you make your most important, highest impact work your default setting. Greatness is no longer a mystery you have to solve every single morning. It's a system that you've built, and it's running on autopilot. So, I want you to take a good, hard look at your daily routines, your default actions, and the environment you operate in, and ask yourself this one simple but really powerful question. Are my habits actually taking me where I want to go, or am I just busy being busy?